Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the third and significantly improved episode of Loki. I am very behind on this show, as some of you may or may not be aware of. The show is dropping new episodes while I was back home last month on a nice visit back home in the Midwest. So I am now finally catching up on this show, even though chances are if you're watching this video, you have probably seen the entirety of Loki, or maybe you're like me and you're catching up slowly episode by episode. So I am now halfway through it, as I have now finally seen the third episode, and I'm about to share with you what I thought of it. But of course, as usual, with like most of my episode review videos, if you're not caught up on Loki like I am, you may not want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers for this particular episode and plot details, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, a significant improvement of the second episode, which I found quite boring and uninteresting. It had its moments, but overall did not really care for it. I did like this third episode a hell of a lot more. The interactions and relationship between Loki and Sylvie is apparently her name and not Lady Loki or whatever people were calling her before she called herself Sylvie. The relationship and the conversations between those two were proving for me to be a lot more engaging and interesting than the previous conversations between Loki and Mobius. Again, nothing against Owen Wilson or the character Mobius, but that second episode was just so blech to me. But this third episode was a big improvement. It was a lot more exciting, and it featured a lot more heightened storyline. You know, they were running against the clock, and then they were forced to work together. They get to know each other a little bit, and then they have to sneak their way onto a train. We learn a little bit more about Sylvie. We learn kind of a little bit more about Loki. It's possible he's bisexual or gender fluid, which was an interesting reveal. I thought I liked that. And I also just thought it was a bigger and better episode. I mean, that showed them on a doomed moon or a planet as a moon was falling from the sky, was about to crush this planet. And of course, since they know that this is a past documented historical apocalypse or a terrible Nexus event, they know it's going to happen no matter what they do or do not do. And since their little time jumping device is broken, they can't jump into another era or timeline where they'll be safe. So it was interesting to see. I thought the storyline would be resolved by them escaping on the ship or the Ark that was evacuating all the people, but then it ended up getting destroyed itself due to the falling moon debris. So now Loki and Sylvie are completely trapped on this doomed planet, and it ended on quite a cliffhanger, which I didn't think it would. I thought it would get resolved where they would miraculously find a way off the planet before it's completely destroyed, but it seems like they're stuck there. Obviously, I know they're going to get off in some way because the rest of the season follows their continuing adventure, or Loki's continuing adventure. So it'll be interesting to see what happens or comes of that. But I really like this Sylvie character. The actress is doing a great job, and I think she and Tom Hiddleston have got some great chemistry. Not necessarily as like they're not lovers yet, but they've got some good chemistry between them, just as a man and a woman, as potential romantic partners, but also as good sarcastic buddies as well too. Which is probably why I enjoyed this episode a hell of a lot more, because we met an interesting new character that Loki was faced to contend with, who's also just as smart, clever, and powerful as he is, if not slightly more so. So, big improvement over the second episode. Really liked the third episode a lot. I'm looking forward to the next one. What did you guys think of this episode of Loki? Chances are you've probably already caught up on the show and seen it, but more than I have. But you may be like me, and you might be really far behind catching up. So if you are, I'm glad you're joining me and you're with me for this viewing adventure. All right, guys, have an awesome rest of your night. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.